Okay, the next thing I want to go over is setting up headers and footers within a document. And this is one of the documents you guys worked with in the homework. Just again as a review, just to show you probably the easiest way to do this. So let's say in this, here's a document that has, we want to put in a cover page, or I want to put in a references page at the end, table of contents, whatever that is. We know that if we hit Control Enter, or I put in a page break, it's going to put in a regular page break. When we put in a regular page break, nothing really changes in our document except that it, is adding an extra page to our document. But if we want to be able to do different things with different parts of a document, I can put in our section break next page instead. So what I'm going to do is take out this page break. I'm going to go to the Layout tab. Under Breaks, I'm going to do section break next page. Now this might seem to do exactly the same thing. It looks very much the same, except that you see section break here next page instead of page break. And now I have different sections of my document. Now, again, you wouldn't really know that unless I'm going to click in my footer here so you can kind of see this now. So you can see footer section 1, where I have my section break. This page is considered one section, and everything else is considered section 2. So basically what that allows me to do is to treat this part of my document different than the rest of my document. I can do the same thing at the end of my document. I can come down here to the end. I'll double click to get back into my document. I'll do Layout, Breaks, section break next page. And now again, back into my headers and footers is just the easiest place to see this. My last page is again now its own section. So that's allowing me to treat basically what I've just done here is set up my document so that I can have a page at the end that I can treat differently. The whole body of my document I can treat differently than I treat the front page, the cover page, I guess we could call it. So I'm going to come in here to my cover page here, and I'm just going to type in my name. I'll type in our class. If I can spell Microsoft. And then I'll just put in the date. Okay. So it just gives me at least something on this first page here. So if I wanted to go through and I wanted to put page numbering in my body of my document here, I would click down here and I could put in, again, I'll put in my name here, and then I'll hit the tab key and we'll put in a page number here. I'm going to, in order to get this part of my document different from the rest, I need to turn off what's called same as previous. So what the same as previous means is that it's going to treat this footer the same as the previous footer. Same thing in the header. It'll treat this header the same as the previous header. So notice I already have my name in here because I typed it in down here. It's in all of the pages right now. So I'm going to actually turn off this link to previous. I don't want it to be the same, so I'm going to turn this off. And because I already typed this in, I'll have to go here and delete this out. But notice I deleted it out of here, and it's still down here because I turned off that same as previous, therefore allowing me to have different footers there. The other thing I want to do is put in a page number here. So I'm going to tell it to put it in the current position, which just means wherever my footer, wherever my cursor currently is. And I'll just pick this plain number here. So notice it puts it in number 2 because this is technically the second page of my document, but it's the first page of my body of my document. So I really want this to start on page 1. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to go back up to page number and format page numbers. And I'm going to tell it to start at 1. Notice you can also change the number formats here if you want to something different, but we're going to keep it as 1, 2, 3, normal numbers. We'll click OK. And now notice it starts on page 1, even though I'm technically on page 2 of my document. And again, that footer is different because I turned off that link to previous. Now I can come down to the last page as well, and you'll notice that everything I just put in that last footer is now on my last page, but I don't want a footer on this page either. Let's say this is going to be my references page, so I want this to not have a footer. Typically you don't have a footer on your header or footer on your references page. So now what I need to do is come into this footer, and again I would turn off that same as previous. I don't want it to be the same as the previous section. My section 2 is the entire body of my document. I don't want that to be the same. So I'm going to turn off this link to previous, and notice the same as previous just went away. So now I can come into my footer here. I can delete it out of here, but it's not going to delete it out of here. So that's how you can adjust the different page numbers in your document, the headers and footers. It's the section break next page. If you put in a regular page break, you don't have this option. The only way you get around this, and it's not really cheating, but I think it's good for people who need to be well versed in Word to understand the difference, is if you use this cover page option. So if I click cover page here and I insert a cover page, you can see that it doesn't have a header or footer on here, and it just acts differently. It doesn't really mess up anything in my document, it just acts differently. But I'll show you now, now that you know how to do this, I can turn on the show hide formatting marks here. You can see it's a page break, but notice what they do in order to make this work. If I go into the header and footer here, notice they have this different first page checked. So that makes it super easy if you just click different first page, and I could have done that on this one, on my different first page here. I could have done that. The only problem is it only works for one page. Different first page header, different first page footer. There is no different last page option. You know, it's so you have to, at some point you're gonna have to figure out how to do this. So this is how they do it with this cover page option. If that's all you're gonna do is put in a cover page, great, that works perfectly, but it's important for you to know also for that section break next page how to do that. The other thing I should point out is notice it counts this, it really calls this page 0, and you really see that more so if I'm hovering over here by I'm using the scroll bar. So that's why the page numbering also works out for you if you ever click on that. So cover page, easy way to do that. But now that you know how to do it, you don't need to use a cover page because you can do it yourself. Now, obviously the nice thing about using a cover page is it gives you that nice professional look. But just a reminder, when you do use any kind of cover pages, if you're not going to use a certain part of the cover page, make sure you're deleting it. So that's a little off topic, but just a good reminder. Okay, the other thing I want to show you in this video is setting tabs. A quick, easy way to set tabs. So I have this text right here that I want to put leader tabs in because you'll have to do this in the test. And an easy way to do tabs is to type out your information first. The most important thing is to make sure you're hitting the tab key. So I'm going to put the leader tab in between the name here, and this is a page number. So even though it doesn't make any sense in this document right here, I'm just going to show you quickly how to do it. So I want leader tabs in here, which means the ... across, and I want this to be right. I want this to move over to the right side of my document here. So I'm going to, I typed it out already, so you didn't have to watch me type, and I hit the tab key in between. So you can see that here. You can't see it here, but there actually is a tab in there. So the important piece is to hit that tab key. If you do not hit the tab key in between, this won't work. So you have it all typed out, you've hit the tab key. So now I'm going to select that information. I'm going to switch to my right tab. So remember, you can change your tabs over here. Let me get back, scroll through. So here's my left tab, here's my center tab, here's my right tab. I want to set a right tab way over here on the right. I'm going to push this all the way over. So I'm going to click my right tab, if I can get this to work, there we go, on my ruler here, and it moved my page numbers over. I'm hoping that this is feeling somewhat familiar to you. Now, if I want to insert the leaders in there, I need to go in and do a little bit more digging. So I need to go into, I could actually double click on my tab right here to do that. I can also go into my paragraph group here and click on tabs. But now I want to set a leader. here. So I'm going to click on my tab up here. I'm going to set the 2 as the style for my leader. That's going to be the ... The 3 would be some hyphens, and the 4 would be actually like a straight line. So I'm going to click on the 2 here. I'm going to hit set and click OK. And that's going to put my leaders in there. So a quick, easy way to add tabs with leaders into your document. You're typing out the information first, and then you're putting in the leaders with the tabs after. If you have any questions on that, let me know.